I got it. Okay, we have it. It's Onyx storm time. It is literally just after 1 a.m. On January 21st, and it is time to begin. I literally cannot believe that I am actually holding this in my hands right about now. As you can see, I am in my flight leathers, coming straight from my Barnes & Noble midnight release party. I don't have a lot of words right now. I'm saying a lot, like I do when I'm trying to think of things. But hi, welcome. I have a very strong goal to finish this very quickly, so come along with me. I'm going to record sporadically while I'm reading and adventuring and finishing this freaking book. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I could just like melt. I'm just going to like... Oh my god, I can't believe this is real. This is happening. This is probably a really gross angle of me. Okay, up. And with that, riders don't run. We fight. How feisty of you, Violet. Oh my god. Ooh, okay. We love an info page at the very start. Name bonded signet speciality. This is going to be important. Onyx Storm is a non-stop thrilling adventure fantasy set in the brutal and competitive world of a military college for dragon riders, which includes elements regarding war, hand-to-hand combat, blood, intense violence, brutal injuries, gore, murder, death, animal death, oh god, injury rehabilitation, grief, poisoning, burning, perilous situations, graphic language, and sexual activities that are shown on the page. Readers who may be sensitive to these elements, please take note and prepare to face the storm. I'll be here for a bit. Okay. That might be the sign. I'm going to pick up tomorrow where I left off today. See you in a bit. Good morning. It's nice and early. And it's like, I guess, like 8 a.m. So I got like 6 hours of sleep last night. But that's okay because it is time for Onyx Storm. I am getting all comfy cozy. I need to get a Celsius, actually. I need to get an energy drink. But, you know, I'll cozy it up. It is... Oh, it's so stormy outside this morning. The rain is falling. It's just like the perfect gloomy day weather to cuddle up and read this book. I'm so excited. Also enjoy au naturel me. No makeup, no nothing. You're getting it raw today. Okay. Deep breaths. 2 weeks later. Oh god, okay. Okay. I'm going to focus on reading this. I will check in with you later. Alright guys, I needed a change of scenery. It is gloomy and rainy outside still. There she is. I need my Celsius to wake me up. Cozy. Okay. Like I said, cozy blanket, drinky drink. Retro vibe. Interesting. Sparkling sherbet slush. And I'm gonna put this like up on the ground. Alrighty. We're back. I swear, Taryn is literally Joe from Princess Diaries. Like, that is, I can't not picture that in my head whenever he speaks. He's just so protective. Alright, I'm gonna be here for a while, so I'll update you when something good happens. I'll make sure I record the reaction. So I'll see y'all in a bit. Okay, brief check-in time. I'm on chapter 7. Apparently, Halden is going to be accompanying Violet on this mission she has to go on. And by the way that Violet reacted, being like, I'm gonna puke, there are times that I wanted to kill him. And both Taryn and Andarna are like, what is happening? It's not confirmed yet, but it's just giving all the evidence I need to, my theory is correct that Halden is her ex. So I'm just like, I'm waiting for that confirmation. I'll be so sad if it's not, but just like the way that she's talking about it, it has to be, right? Also, Xaden like low-key kind of channeled while they were like foreplaying, actually, not even doing the deed. They were just foreplaying. And this sounds so mean because I love Zaddy. I love Zaddy Daddy so much, but I also want Violet to get her bag. You know, like I'm a girl's girl at my core. And while they were doing the deed, all I could think about, I'm not even thinking about, but like while I was reading it, it just wasn't fulfilling her the way that it used to. And she was thinking about that. So I'm hoping that Violet gets some good memories in this book. There's also a moment with Dane where Xaden got jealous. So we're definitely teetering on some really, really intense feelings and emotions when it comes to Xaden and the people in Violet's life. Also, in negotiation treaties, they're at what I'm just basically call the Senate. It's a very large name. This is an S, and me reading it, I do not want to mispronounce it because it's just like a long S word in my head. The Senate meeting with all the nobles, and the king gave Xaden back his title and all of Tarandor and not just Orisha. So now he's like legit a duke. Crazy. Just the stakes are high. Poor guy. And Violet keeps talking about being a traitor and being a traitor, but it's like so many things that she's being a traitor of. It's hard to keep track. And I don't know if it's like something that we were told. Sorry, I'm looking at the book to see if, and for whatever reason, it just hops off the page. I don't know if it's something that we were already told and like I just skimmed through it in my excitement, or if we haven't necessarily figured out what the plan is, because I know Rebecca does that a lot, where she just alludes to something until I figure it out. I know for sure she's looking for a cure, and I know that when she goes on this journey to go find the 7th breed of dragons, Andarna's breed, that's also coinciding with her finding a cure, and that's what she's referring to as being a traitor, I think. I don't know her exact plans yet. They haven't told us, but I'm sad, and I wanted to do a little check-in with you guys. Chapter 7. All right, we're gonna keep going. Okay, I got cold, so I have my super duper industrial fuzzy blanket for part 2 of reading. Not even part 2, it's like part 5 at this point. Also, my morning snack break to fuel me up. I have my little cream cheese wrap. So basically what I did is I took some low carb tortillas and I put some low fat, try of an onion cream cheese and veggie cream cheese mixed together and put it in my little wrappy wraps. And of course, my chomps. Gotta get that protein. No one asked for this, but I guess it's part of a vlog. I don't know. Not the Quest Squad. I swear, Riddick has the best one-liners. I'm very scared for his future. Okay, so already treason. We don't know what it is, but already treason. Okay, love that for me. That makes sense. Okay. Yep. That's why she brought over the rune. They wanted to adapt the rune of Basgiath to accommodate Griffin Riders and Griffin magic. That's the treason they're doing. It's what I thought, but it just didn't say it. Well, I guess it's treason part 1, I should say. Alright, I'll be here. I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, hi. Sorry. Had to check in. Page 84. Taryn, what is happening? What is happening? I did have a theory, and I didn't want to be proven right, but I had a theory that Violet has 2 dragons. One of them could easily die, but she would still be alive because she's still bonded to a dragon. I just didn't think it would happen on page 84 of Onyx Storm. Okay, so he's alive? But Rebecca, why are you scaring me like this? I feel like that's really, really scary foreshadowing. That and the freaking dream that Violet just had with her and Kat. You're scaring me. Bex, Rebecca, we're on book 3. We are on page 85 of book 3. I need you to calm down, Missy. this much of this book left, and we have 2 other books afterwards. Stop it. Also, why is Garrick here? I've got questions. Okay. Crisis averted. I'll check back in with you guys soon. Hi. Okay, pop me back in because it's basically just confirmed that actually Garrick has 2 signets. He's the distance wielder, which means I don't think that that's going to be Violet's second signet because we just saw it with Garrick. Did not call that coming, but it does confirm my theory that all marked ones have 2 signets. And straight up, Garrick's kind of like, yeah, well, you're about to have one too. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're here. We're here. We're locked. Guys. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. Remember how I said that I had a theory that all marked ones had a second signet? I'm not crazy. I'm literally not crazy. There was a moment in Fourth Wing where just randomly in the middle of battle, Liam was wielding ice, but that was not his signet. And it is brought up in here. Garrick's a distance wheeler, isn't he? I didn't bother hinting around the question. A moment of silence passes between us, but I see the confirmation in his eyes. Are you pissed I didn't tell you? I shake my head. You don't owe me your friend's secrets, my brow knits. But 20 hours of flying gave me some time to think. You, Garrick. I tilt my head. And once I thought I saw Liam wield ice, Xaden says, stroking his thumb along my chin. How often do second signets accompany these particular relics? Often enough to be sure Kaori can't possibly have accurate records, but not too completely that anyone questions why I only present with one. Called it. Called it from book 1, people! That's a win. I don't have a bingo card, but that was probably on it if I did. That is a win in my book. Check. Theory's correct. Okay, I will tune in later. Page 102, by the way. Yeah, and now this freaking... I know the Venin have signets. Stressed. Very stressed. Alright. I'll tune in with y'all later. Chapter 13. 1. I love that Rebecca is self-aware about all of Iron Flame just being the same argument back and forth to the point that Riddick is making fun of it on page 111. Chef's kiss. I love that. I'm scared. I'm very scared. I have always said that this book reminds me a lot of another series, Divergent, where the main character whose POV we're reading from dies. The fact that the start of this book basically always... The following text has been faithfully transcribed from Empyrean into the modern language by Jacinia Newart, curator of the Scribe Project at Basgiath War College. All events are true, and names have been preserved to honor the courage of those fallen. May their souls be commended to Malek. Because of that, I've always been very, very concerned about the morality of our main characters. I have a bad feeling, especially here on page 111, when they're talking about love and marriage. And any time that the future is talked about with a couple, i.e. Violet and Xaden right here, it usually is a bad warning. It's like a red flag omen almost. And that is just shining right now. And now, is this a red flag for Violet that she's going to die and we're going to pull a Divergent? Is this a red flag for Xaden and Xaden's going to die, succumb to Venin, XYZ? I'm probably leaning more closer to that area of it. Especially because we're in book 3. But I'm scared. And I needed to say it out loud just to, like, confirm it, I guess. Because I knew if I kept it to myself and then it happened, I would be pissed for saying, like, I called it. But, like, only my head called it. I needed to say it out loud. I'm just scared of manifesting it. The fact that they're all talking about, like, their future legacies and their kids, like, it's not good. Okay. I'll tune back in with y'all soon. Guys, we have a name. We have a name for Violet's dad. Lieutenant Colonel Asher Sorengale. And I can't help but notice, chapter 17, top of the page, 142, recovered correspondence of Lieutenant Colonel Asher Sorengale to Violet Sorengale. Lieutenant Daddy has died, hence it's recovered correspondence. And so far, we've just seen recovered correspondence from characters who are dead and Xaden and Violet. Specifically, letters from Xaden. So take that information with what you will. We're on chapter 17. Dan is about to break into Daddy's, his dad's now space to get Asher's, that's his name, Asher's research. Violet has to choose, do I trust Dane? Is Dane gonna turn on me? I hope that he doesn't. I hope that Dane now knows that his dad's a booty hole. And we've already seen Dane go bad. Like, we've already seen Dane turn on Violet, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. But it could. But we have a name. We haven't gotten a name for Violet's father yet. So this is a very, very big thing, because before he was just like this enigma. One of my theories is that we were going to get more of a deep dive into Violet's dad. I think all of his research is going to be a really big deal in this. Keep me all updated. 17. Wait, Dane came through. Hold up, there's something happening here. Stay with me. First love is irreplaceable. Oh dear God. Okay, all right. Strap in. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I'm squealing. This is so they're trying to figure out first love is irreplaceable. They're trying to figure out what that code could be. And, she's going over, who could Mira's first love be? Who was Brennan's first love? Things like that. And King Riddick, blatantly is like, hello? Who is your first love? Straight up, oh, that is so not happening. My father couldn't stand the first guy I really dated and never knew about the second. Arik turns his entire torso around to look at me. How many letters? I narrow my eyes. 6. He lifts 2 sandy brown eyebrows. I mean, it fits. Absolutely not. Heat stings my cheeks. Halden. Halden. AKA Arik's brother. I'm just saying, I have this gut feeling that that's her ex. And I'm really excited for if this happens to be true. And Arik knows. Arik is the one who was like, how many letters? He's fishing it out. And Riddick's like, hold on. Is the first year entitled to information that we don't have? Xaden pops in. Oh, this reveal. If I'm correct, this reveal is going to be so good. Okay, I'll tune in a bit. This is it. We're going to find out. Stay with me. He doesn't seem as tall as I remember. Definitely a couple of inches shorter than Arik, but he's just as strikingly beautiful as the last time I saw him. His high cheekbones, the mouth tilted in a permanent smirk, and the perfect proportion to his features are enough to turn heads, but his eyes are the real showstopper. They're as green as summer leaves, but man, do they wander. This is going to be so good. And the fact, oh my gosh, okay, I'm here, I'm set. 150, page 150. Okay. You'd have to own a heart to break it, I immediately counter. And the only hair I remember is your professor's covering your face when I walked in on you writing her. It was auburn, right? Ouch, you wound me, Halden rubs his chest. Yes, I cheated, but you have to remember I was still suffering from the loss of my twin. That confirms it right there. Him saying that he cheated. That confirms they were an item. It's another check for theories that are correct. Okay. I can't wait for this to unfold. The drama. Oh, the drama is going to be so good. Oh my God. I also can't wait. I can't wait for him to discover that Arik's alive. Cam's alive. Cam is Arik. You know what I mean. Oh my God, this is going to be so good. Oh, I'm so happy I called that. I'm really proud of myself for that one. I missed the entire letter. Wait. Oh my God. Lots of things just happened. Pages 150 through 152. I never told you I was sorry, and I should have. If you're not with Ryerson, I am in love with him, I bristle. I haven't had so much as a thought of you in years. Don't chase just because you like a challenge, you'll lose. Anyone who's ever dated a rider knows that their first priority, their first love, is their dragon. Once you accept that, another man hardly feels like a challenge. My lips part. He's right. Our first priorities are our dragons. They're irreplaceable. Their first love. I think it has to go back to what Dad said his first love is. But anyway, then we have Holden, lifts a hand towards the loosened strands of my braid but never makes it. Shadows blast straight through the wards and hit Holden in the chest like a battering ram, sending the crown prince of Navarre flying backwards straight into the rock wall. Shit. This is getting so good. Oh my god. This is so good. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, page 150 through like 154 is just okay. There's a lot happening here. Please stay tuned. Please bear with me. We could talk about how your non-boyfriend threw your clearly ex-boyfriend into the wall instead, or even chat about how you've never mentioned that you were in a relationship with the prince. A prince, a duke, clearly you have a type. Sure enough, it was Lilith's dragon's name, Asmir. That was the answer to the thing it opened to reveal the book A History of the Second Crowlian Uprising, a draft by Lieutenant Colonel Asher Sorengale. And there's a note. There's a note. Oh god, of course there's a note. He made sure that Dan would know Grovelish to translate this too, but also was like, if he follows the footsteps of his father, you must find the strength to let go of your affection for him. There's a lot happening here. I need to process this. I'll come back. We're gonna come back and we're gonna chit chat. I'm gonna dive in. Okay, hi. Me again. Chapter 21. Violet just made her squad to Devernelly. So I'm gonna say Devernelly to, look for whatever her dad has there, whether it be the potential cure for venin, whether it be more research into the Feathertails, mysterious note that's pointing her in this direction. The squad consists of her ex, her current lover, the Quadrant's resident smartass, 2 people who tried to kill you in the past, 1 over current said lover, and then whatever Dane is. Those are your choices for the most important mission any writer could possibly undertake. LOL, Mira straight up called her out. But that's not why I had to do like a town hall on page 180. I'm scared for Riddick. I'm very scared for Riddick. I love Riddick. I love our comic relief. I'm scared for him. He's been definitely a more prominent character in this book so far, and that worries me that we are building up to his death in this book. There's been a lot of theories going around like he's not going to be safe, that he's going to be RIP'd. He's the comedic relief. I truly cannot get rid of our comedic relief in book 3 of book 5. Like, that's just mean. We need someone to be the smartass around here, and I'll be very upsetty spaghetti if once Riddick's character starts to develop, we lose him. But I wouldn't put it past Rebecca to do that to us, because she likes to cause us pain. So I'm just saying, I'm really scared for Riddick. It doesn't happen in this book. I have a sad feeling that it might, especially because he fought so hard to be a part of this squad and he wanted it so badly. I feel like not everyone's going to make it, and I feel like he's going to die. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Okay, I probably need to break for lunch at this point and just get some food. I'm scared. Hello for my lunch break. I have a little cheeseburger and my apple and just a couple more little rolly things because I like those. Oh gosh, I don't even know how many hours it's been, but I feel like there's just so much of this book left and I'm not even close to being there. But I've been reading for so long. Okay, sorry, I'm like zoned out. I have my next little drinky drink to power me through my little Olipop. I'll be opening a bottle of wine soon. Cheers! As we continue on. Okay, hi. Checking back in. Chapter 28, page 240. Holy shit. One, it's like afternoon, so like already like crashing. I'm gonna need like energy. Holy shit. Context: the team, I'm gonna call it the team, the squad, the new quest squad, if you will, is at Deverelli. They just made the whole trek there. And when they got there, there's no magic in this land. So people can't talk to their dragons, though Violet can talk to Taryn and Andarna. So like something's going on there. I think it might have to do with the fact that like Andarna is probably from this area. So Andarna's magic isn't really as affected so she can communicate with Violet, and that affects Violet, and therefore that also affects Taryn. That's my ongoing theory. Squad is here. No magic. That means that Xaden is like safe from the Venom tendencies, but he also like can't, connect to his powers. So you see him for the very first time just being like completely and utterly relaxed. No responsibilities. He's being nice to Dane. Crazy. A concept. Everyone is thrown off. We get our very first sexy scene of the book. About 200 pages in. Needed. And of course, everything is going great. You're like, wow, like everyone is happy. Everyone's doing great. Xaden's doing great. The vibes are high. So the vibes are about to get real not high. Real not high. And that's when they find out that Holden, whatever, I think it's Holden, has been essentially kidnapped by the king of this area, King Cortland. He's been kidnapped by Cortland. So Violet and Xaden have to go essentially rescue him. And Xaden is getting I love Zaddy Daddy, but he's like getting a little bit on my last nerves of how much he is committing to Violet. Because when asked like where his loyalties lie, Tyrande, Navarre, he's like, my loyalties lie to Violet. He gets a stone that has power in it, whatever it's called. And I'm forgetting the words. He goes full Venom. He absorbs power from the stone and kills like 12 people. And of course his eyes are like now red-reamed. Violet's like, dude, why? Leave. Kicks him out. And now she's like doing negotiations herself. Which is something that I've noticed is that whenever Violet is standing up to do the negotiations herself in this book, she comes out on top. We saw that between her and Aurora. I think it's Aurora. At the beginning, her and Dan are facing off and then she pops in and it's kind of like, hey, yo, let me talk to you for a sec. And then she kind of wins the sway of the crowd. We see it again when she's talking to the council. I call it the Senate. It's not called the Senate, but it's a fun S long term, calling it the Senate. When she walks in and says, this is actually going to be the squad I'm going to take. Thank you so much. No questions. And they let it happen. And now you see it again here with Cortland when she's like, here are my terms and conditions, and he's agreeing to it. Granted, she's had the upper hand in all of these situations, but there's still something there. Also, I wanted to note something. I'm going to hold up the book, coloring, and maybe even showcase the fun dragons when I say this fun fact. 240. I set the base on the table and its pieces inside, marveling at how the shades of color graduate from the darkest onyx on bottom to the brightest silvers on top. Each ring of hardened scales nestled within the next, yet never separate, creating a smooth outer layer with no ridges that only cracks when the hatchling is ready. This is Indarna's eggshell. This is what Indarna was hatched out of. And I can't help but notice onyx on the bottom, silver on the top. Kind of similar to Violet's hair also. What's this? It's literally this. Fishy. Just fishy. And once again, it's literally Violet. Okay, I'm gonna tune back in now because they're gonna discuss other things, but I'm on chapter 28. Dear God, it's getting intense. Okay, checking in again. Oh dear God, okay. Something I forgot to say last time is at this point, by chapter 29, Xaden has channeled from the source, as you could say, 3 times. And we see in the chapter prior to this that it's starting to show. His gold-flecked onyx eyes are now amber-flecked. So we don't love that. We really don't. We also start to see that Xaden no longer can just read intentions, but he's starting to be able to read minds. That's also not good. And I can't help but wonder, because we keep seeing his mind reading get stronger the more he channels, so I'm wondering if that's going to come to fruition later. That's not good. Also, we just witnessed a cadet doing sparring and just start wielding straight from the ground. And then she was executed on sight by car. That's not good. But I think I understand why Rebecca Yarros said that Bodhi's song for this book is I Look Through People's Windows by Taylor Swift on Tortured Poets Department. And I think it's because he's not part of the quest squad, if you will, that's going out and trying to find the 7th breed of dragon. He has to stay at Basgiath and make sure everything like goes according to plan. So he's sitting here watching everyone else leave and go on the adventure while he's honing down the fort, giving that vibe of, I look through people's windows. It's wishing he had their life, wishing he could do what they do, but knowing he has a place at Basgiath. Granted, page 252 right now, so like, things could change. Things could very much change. Okay, why does this guy have the same name as Violet's dad? Isle of Doon by 2nd Lieutenant AsAshReadsIt. We just got that Violet's dad's name was Asher Sorngale in this book. Okay, keep that in our minds. I'll check in later. Okay, quality check-in. Let's do this. Chapter 31, page 269. 269. Oh boy, okay. Things are happening. The squad, now featuring Garrick and Auric, they've kicked Holden to the curb because he really just did not do a good job last time. So we've now kicked Auric to the curb. Holden now knows that Auric is alive, so like that's fun. And they're at the Isle of Umbriel. I think that's how you pronounce it, Umbriel, which I can't help but think is like Umbreon, like the Pokemon. And also Umbreon's colors are literally black, silver, and gold if you're a Pokemon fanatic. Anyway, fun facts. So they're at Umbriel and they were camping out trying to lure the people in. And Mira and Violet were having a little heart-to-heart. We find out that Mira went on personal leave to go visit their grandmother, like Daddy Sorngale, Asher Sorngale's mom, which they don't speak to anymore. And Mira won't say why, which is sus. And I know I had this theory that Brennan was going to be the betrayer and Brennan was going to kind of be evil. But now I'm wondering if it's going to be Mira, because there's been a lot in this book so far about trusting Mira and how Violet's like, she's my sister, I have to trust her. She's on the squad because I trust her. Even in a letter that she got from her dad, it said, trust no one but Mira. Now it seems a little sus that we're so focused on trusting Mira right now. Also, Mira has a bracelet that's braided, and it smells faintly of parchment. So I'm wondering if that was her dad's bracelet that she got when she went to go visit his mom, their grandmother. Sus. But once they got captured by the people of Umbriel and they were like demanded to like take me to your ruler because they want to do negotiations, they walk into a temple, and I quote, "Blue-robed attendants rise on the temple steps and my footsteps falter, my Violet. Every single one of them has silver hair. Not gray, not white, silver." It's gonna be a long night. Strap in, guys. Strap in. Okay, so I'm thinking out loud here. I'm thinking out loud here because we know that Asher Sorngale, which maybe his real name is Asher Daxton, because we saw that correspondence author note from someone named Asher Daxton, and I said, who is that? We know him as Asher Sorngale. We got his first name in this book. Trying to put pieces together here. He's been doing research on the Isles, but not just on the Isles. He's been doing research more specifically on the Isles and Feathertails, which we think comes from the Isles, are kind of all the same. They don't have venin, so it goes to show that maybe they've learned how to prevent venin or cure venin. We think it's all related, right? We're following along with this? It just seems to me that if Violet looks like them, Daddy Sorngale, Asher, left all this information for Violet alone, for no one else, literally just for Violet, excluded Mira, thought Brennan was dead. Information's for Violet alone. Is Violet actually from here? Which then begs the question, 1, is Violet adopted? 2, is one of Violet's parents not her actual real parents? That's kind of been like my theory the whole time, is like, what if Daddy was someone else? What if Mommy was someone else? But what if she's actually from here? Or like, what if Daddy's from here and this is just like the lineage that Asher's from? I know we're gonna find out more, but I just my thoughts as I'm on page 270. Okay, I don't want to have to check in after every single chapter But we do need to talk about what just happened in chapter 32. I'm now on chapter 33, page 282. So they were at the temple because they were being brought to the leader of Umbriel, the Umbrish. I'm probably pronouncing that so wrong, but when I eventually listen to the audiobook, they will correct me on that. So they met with the leader of Umbriel, but in order to do so, they had to essentially fight to prove their worth. It was supposed to be like a one-on-one combat. Ended up being 3-on-3, so Xaden, Dane, and Violet had to fight against 3 of their matching components. Long story short, Violet ended up fighting the queen herself. So, like, love that for her. They all won. I was very scared that it was not gonna turn out in our favor, but so far, they've all lived. Knock on the wood, that is the word that made these pages. Something interesting, because afterwards, like, okay, well, now you can have an audience with me. You grace me with your talents. Talk to me what's going on. And Violet straight up is like, okay, we need 2 things. We need to know where the 7th bearded dragon is. And she's like, haha, we don't know. We've never seen one, or at least haven't seen one in centuries. Number 2 is that when Violet was like, hey, we need allies for this war. Can you fight with us? She basically was like, in order for our alliance, there's something that we want that you can't give us, which is dragons. And apparently it's something that the entire Isles want. And that goes literally directly back to all the research that Daddy Sorengale, or maybe Daddy Dex did, because we've seen that name again, was researching and looking up. Was that uprising in, can't pronounce it, Clovia? In Krovla? Krovla. Krovla? I think it's Krovla. That whole uprising, because they wanted dragons, and Navarre couldn't promise dragons. Like, that's like, you know, Empyreans have their own way of doing things. We cannot control dragons, so we cannot give you or promise you said dragons. So it just feels like they're literally about to relive this entire uprising and war, which is really interesting. Any thoughts? No, it literally is right here. Actually, the second Krovian uprising, Dad was right, but they weren't looking for feathertails because of their gifts. It was because they thought they were malleable, trainable. It's right here. Dang. Okay. Keep going. Also, wait, before I keep going, there was a moment when she was battling Queen, the Queen of Umbriel, if you will, and a storm came in. There was a storm, there was lightning, and she ended up actually, like, lightning came in and, like, cracked some walls and some chairs and some things. And Violet's like, oh, what a crazy coincidence. And everyone's like, dude, you just yielded and there's no magic here. And she's like, no, of course I didn't yield. There's no magic. I can't. That wasn't me. That was a coincidence. If we know anything about violence and coincidences, that they don't exist. I think she yielded. I think that the Isles do have magic, but only magic for the certain breed that, like, maybe Indarna is. So through that, Violet can still access her magic. But also it seems like Violet herself could have something to do with this area, with Dune. Dunne is the isle they're currently at, because she saw that priestess that looked just like her with similar hair and everything. So we're going to dive into that as well, because this priestess literally had, like, brown hair that went to silver. Like, to a T, looked like Violet. And she was like, I want to ask her questions. Does her bones hurt? Like, is she like me? And we still have a lot of this book to go to not only answer those questions, but I'm about to ask a lot more. Cheers. 287, page 287. We meet Xaden's mom. Xaden's mom's here. Xaden's mom is on this isle. I'm sorry. Zaddy's mommy? I keep rereading this. And now we're on chapter 34. Of course we are. The Isle of Heiden. That's where Mom's been. Okay. Alright, Rebecca. $34, let's go. Okay, hi. Checking in again. Chapter 38. Rebecca just scared me half to death. And so I just had to get through that chapter. How dare she poison Garrick? And also, like, potentially have Riddick stabbed in the same chapter. That was too much for my little heart to handle. I just had to get through it. But I love how just absolute genius that Violet is. And she's always a step ahead of the game. And like all that was proven like when they were at like that Wisdom Isle. What a baddie. What a baddie. What a queen. And now they're at Zenalia, which has magic. So that's exciting. And everyone's like waiting for them and super excited. And I'm trying to think of what this reminds me of. Like this is a bit of a trope because we're definitely getting a lot of world building in this book. Like we've officially left the continent and we're exploring different areas. And it seems like each different isle, each different island has not just like a different culture, but a huge like way of life, and every experience is different. At first I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Skeleton Crew that I literally just watched, and how they venture to all these different planets and learn different things. And, you know, they're just trying to get home. So they have an objectives and everyone's reacting differently to their objective of getting home. Some are super welcoming, some try to capture them, XYZ. At the end of the day, this reminds me of like Homer's Odyssey. Like it feels like a Greek tragedy because all he's trying to do is get home from the Battle of Troy. I forget who it is. All he's trying to do is get home, but there are so many like little islands that he's stopping at, and so many like defeats that he has to go through. And this literally feels like the Odyssey, but fourth week. The Odyssey, but with dragons and fantasy. Instead of just trying to get home, they're, you know, trying to find Indarna's home. Wait, did I just stumble upon something? This is literally the Odyssey. This is literally the Odyssey. They're trying to find Indarna's home, and in doing so, they're stopping at all these like little islands, and they're having to go through these feats. And like, I'm sorry, that was just like very profound. Anyway, page 320 out of 524. It's the Odyssey. It's the Odyssey. Anyway, it's the freaking Odyssey. Chapter 39. I had a bad feeling about the Zenalia, because they all worship the god of luck. When it was like, you have to accept your gifts and say thank you, I was like, there's something's gonna go on here, something's gonna happen. I was really scared for like Riddick. I should have seen Traeger coming. I should have seen that death coming, because in the past couple chapters they've been like really building his character up, especially like his relationship with Kat, to make us really sad when he died the way he did. But Rebecca's also been training me very, very well to just not care about side characters, because they're all gonna die. I also need to not care about main characters. I think they're also all gonna die. So I guess I'm just coming here to say that I thought it was gonna be worse, but it still wasn't good. Yeah, okay. 3:30. I'm back in. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, they found him. Well, technically, I guess the Irids found them. Why am I scared? But also, can we talk about how the island... So they left the island where they worship the god of luck. And Targan? Gosh, what was his name? Traeger. So they just left the island where they all worship the god of luck. And Traeger died doing their whole ritual thingy-mabob. So then they had to go and burn Traeger and his griffin's body, because he's part of the squad, you know, as one does, a proper burial, and not on that island. So the first one they happened to find, it just feels pretty lucky to me that the Irids found them after visiting the Island of Luck, and the only reason they were at that island is because Traeger died and they were burying him. Chapter 41, page 340. 346. That was chapter 41. I'm now on chapter 42. Well, we just met the Irids. They were really nice. Damn if they weren't judgmental as heck. The whole time, Andarna was a test. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You were left behind as the creation, the measurement of their growth, their ability to choose tranquility and harmony with all living things. We'd hoped you would return to tell us the humans had evolved, they had blossomed under the wardstones and no longer used magic as a weapon. But instead you have shown the opposite. Literally the opposite though, like 100% the opposite, because Venin, dear God. Okay. I was right to be scared. Mom, pick me up. And you, the male lowers his gaze to Andarna, the male Irid. Our very hope has handed this human something far more dangerous to wield, haven't you? Okay, are we gonna find out? 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 I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Chapter 42. Chapter 42. Oh, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. Okay, that's so sad. They're saying that Andarna, and they're not like wrong. She uses you like Violet uses Andarna. She took advantage of a vulnerable child. She used your power as an instrument of warfare, forced your premature growth, and look what you have become. You think I'm broken? Andarna hisses. We think you're a weapon. I mean, like, to be fair, she can't fly for long distances on her own. She can't yield a rider. Apparently, Irids are supposed to have feather tails. They're not supposed to change their tail shape. They're peaceful dragon breeds. I'm stressy McGussy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Never meet your heroes. Number one, I should have literally called that from the beginning because, of course, the Irids are just gonna be shit help. Don't ever meet your heroes. But Zayden's eyes were rimmed red, and Riddick just saw it. So, oh goodness. Okay, 352, chapter 43. I'm really scared. I have a feeling it's all about to come out. Okay. 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 Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. I freaking love Riddick. Like, he's such a good friend. And I really love that he was part of this adventure and we got to know him as a character more. And his, like, heart-to-heart here with Violet on page, I guess it was, like, all of, like, 356 through 360 is just so good. And he's calling her out, which he's needed to do because she's being a dum-dum. And he just, all of reality, just spreads it out there. Especially when he was like, if it's something that you can't tell me, Ree, or Sawyer, or Justinia, you're obviously in the wrong if you feel like you have to hide it from them. And I'm like, period. Yes, exactly. And when she got to the point where she didn't know what the line was when she would take action against Zayden, God know where that line is, honey boo boo. And I'm getting very scared about where this is going. And again, we've seen the foreshadowing throughout the entire series that Zayden keeps saying, you're gonna be the death of me, you're gonna be the death of me. I truly think she's gonna be the death of him. But dear God, is it gonna be in this book? We have 2 more. Oh, I'm in danger. Oh, I'm in danger. Okay. Okay. I'm also scared for Riddick. I'm scared that Riddick now knows and Zayden's gonna keep turning and Zayden's gonna kill him. Because I feel like that would be something that Rebecca would do in order to show how much Zayden has turned and how much Zayden is no longer like himself, is that he kills someone on the squad or like on this quest, like someone who is supposedly super close to him if it's not Violet. And I also forgot that whole layering of like, if Violet dies, then Taryn dies. And if Taryn dies, the mate will die. And Zayden will die. Most likely. But it's still the same. If Zayden dies, I don't know if Sigale will die. TBH. But they're kind of playing it like she might. Because if Sigale dies, Taryn's gonna die. Because mating, I think. That's how they're playing it. I'm stressed. I'm very stressed. Because then I could see Violet Xing herself in order to then ex-Satan, and they can be together with Malik. It's just a whole layer of things. And I've been reading for over 12 hours at this point, and my thoughts are just whirling. Back in. Go Riddick. Riddick's best. He's being real. He's telling her exactly what she needs to know because she's being such a dum-dum. Like, he's saying these words, and I'm like, Violet, girly pop, like, stop. And I really want to go back and reread this book, seeing changes in Xaden throughout this book as he channels more and becomes more Venin, because now I'm noticing how cold he is, and he was not this cold like earlier in this book, earlier in this venture. He was not this cold, and there's something about whenever like he kind of turns it on, like Violet feels like a chill on the back of her neck, and she feels like an icy cold, and like that verbiage is used every time that he kind of goes Venin. Okay, I'm back in. Okay, made it back to Basgiath. Yay. Queen Marietta is dead. Not yay. Savinia just fell to Dark Wielders. Also not yay. The tea girl, what's her name? Theophany, sent a letter to Violet just saying, like, I wonder why you went to so much trouble when I have the one thing you seek above all else. And I really think that Violet's gonna go to her in order to save Xaden, but the question is, how's that gonna happen? What's that gonna do? I don't know, but Violet's gonna go to her. She's not smart, which is actually kind of funny because when they went to the wisdom place, they're like, you don't have any wisdom, and like, actually, like, yeah, Violet puts love above wisdom often, even though she's the smartest girl in the room. Oh, I'm mad at her already. She hasn't even done it yet. I just know that she's going to do it. Okay, page 365, chapter 44, 13, 14-ish hours in. I might be calling a pause for the evening. Because I have to get up early and go to bed. Day 1, here we are. And stay tuned. I'm scared. Hello. It is a new day. It is a new evening, and I am determined to finish this book tonight. So I have a glass of wine in hand. I have the rest of the bottle with me. It's time. Let's dive in. And some thoughts and prayers. We're going to have lots of thoughts and prayers. As we go into this, I'm diving into chapter 44, I think. 44. I'm trying to think if I had any revelations last night before I went to bed, before I dived back into this, that I wanted to share at the top of my head. Curious, very curious. So we learned that Violet's dad is named Asher. We see correspondence from Asher Sorengale, but we also see Asher Daxton. And we see correspondence from Asher Daxton. I think at one point she says, like, oh, like my dad, Asher Daxton. So I'm curious on why he took the name Sorengale. I noticed that it's very feminist that way, where he took the wife's name, the mom's name. So like snaps Lilith, very snaps. But I'm curious as to like a reason why. So maybe we'll find that out. But we left out our crew at Basgiath, and yeah, not good. But here we are. I think Violet's gonna go talk to the sage, get help. In my friend group chat today, I had a theory that one of my friends had that I actually am kind of scared of. Because I talked about how I think that at one point, you know, Violet might die, Xaden might die, they might both die, who knows. What I didn't necessarily have on my bingo card was Violet turning Venin to save Xaden. But you know what? The way that Riddick brought that up, because he said, what is the line for you? In order for us to be like, red flag, let's turn Xaden in. And he said, like, would, you know, channeling yourself have that line? Is that the line to cross? And she thinks about back in Iron Flame, where there was a moment, a split moment, where she knew that she wasn't enough. The power she was getting from Tyrion wasn't enough, and she would have to channel from the earth, from the source, to save the Wordstone, to save others. So there's a moment she's already considered doing it, so there's no stopping her to doing it again.
I just don't know if she would, I don't know. Because by saving the one she would love, she'd turn herself into the thing that she fears the most, which is also exactly what Xaden did. But the way they're being so lovey-dovey in this book, I can see him going just like so super evil by the end of this book, and Xaden ends up being the big bad they have to defeat by the end. Because again, we're only in book 3, boo-boo. Oh, I need a drink, okay. And on that wonderful note, let's dive back in. Okay, so it's not new news that Violet keeps having these dreams, and it's dreams by this sage. We don't really ever get a said description of said sage. I had a theory that it was Nolan. That was my theory, is that the sage is Nolan. That's how come he can visit Violet in dreams, like talk to Violet directly, because Nolan was connected to Taryn, and through Violet he could connect there. But Xaden's also had dreams of said sage. I thought said sage was killed by Xaden at the end of Iron Flame. Following me? Because Xaden said that he did. We had this whole POV where he killed the sage. I guess there's multiple sages that are called the sage. Violet's been having a couple dreams in this book, which isn't necessarily new information. She's had dreams in the last book, and it's all like sages being like, you're gonna turn, you're gonna turn, you're gonna come to us. She had that one weird dream where she was in the house with Kat, and the house was on fire. She needed to grab the picture of the family with brown eyes, and Kat was like, you have to survive. And Violet's like, no, you're going to make it out. You're going to become the Duchess of Tindor, which aka means that she would marry Xaden in this scheme of things because he's the Duke right now. Emphasis, I said right now. Weird dream. We don't really even know who the family is in that photo because it didn't necessarily say it was Violet's family. It just said it was a family photo. So I have a scary gut feeling that this is going to be like foreshadowing into like another book, and Rebecca's just giving it to us like 2 books early, and we're going to see it in like book 4 and 5. But in the beginning of chapter 45, we get another dream of Violet talking to a sage, and now looking at the words that the sage says, it's a little sketchy because he goes, quit fighting it, quit fighting me. She says, you're dead, this isn't real, because she thinks it's the sage that Xaden killed. He continues to go, such emotion, don't worry, it'll fade in time. Just submit, come to me, accept where you belong, and you'll find freedom like no other. And then it talks about how the sage draws a sword from his robes, and the next flash of lightning reflects in the emeralds adorning the top of his hilt. Whips of silver hair blow in the breeze at the edge of my vision, and the sword of Tyrandor rushes toward my chest. You mean the sword that Xaden just got gifted back? I'm very scared that this is actually Xaden, that this sage is Xaden, and I think it goes to the theory I literally just said where Xaden is going to fully turn Venin, because this scene is then juxtaposed with her thinking about how much she loves Xaden, wants to write him a letter, because, fun fact, it's his birthday on this day. Not a coincidence at all. And that is just such... That's Xaden. That's Xaden in the future. And that just really scares me because the only thing that Xaden loves more than anything, he said it multiple times, is Violet. Violet's his reason. Violet's what's his anchor, what's keeping him here. Even if he turns Venin, when he continues to turn Venin, if he goes like full on, I think Violet's still going to be his core. And he is going to confuse the feeling of love to the feeling of need. And he's going to do everything that it takes to get Violet to be Venin so they can be together. I'm scared. Also, sweet baby Sawyer, who is pulling a Peeta Malak right now with only one leg. But like, baby, you can do it. Your dragon loves you anyway. It's okay to not be perfect. Boo-boo. Anyway, chapter 46. Let's go. Oh no. We have another recovered correspondence. Recovered correspondence of Cadet Violet Zorngale to His Grace Lieutenant Xaden Royson, 16th Duke of Tyrandor. I'm telling you, they're both gonna die. Something that I really love about these books, and it reminds me a little bit of Harry Potter in the way of, like, the end of the world could be happening and is happening, but you bet your ass they're still going to class. They're still going to class. They still got physics. They still got history homework. they still got training to do, but then also like they're gonna die. And it's just, this happened in Iron Flame too, when they went to Orisha with like all of the Horde, and they're like, all right, well, I guess we're just gonna have Basgiath 2.0 break into your squads. You guys still have classes. You guys gotta learn things. So we see like these refugees come to Orisha and just go back to school. And you see that here as well, where it's like things go down. Oh, gotta go back to class. They go on their 3-week-long journey through the Isles, and then gotta go back to class. You got class in the morning, gotta go to physics. You didn't do your physics homework. It's just so funny to me. Like, dude, the world's ending. Who cares about physics, you know? Also, I'm at the top of chapter 48, so page 402. And you have a little excerpt, and those excerpts are very scary. You gotta pay attention to the excerpts because they kind of foreshadow events in the chapter of the story. And this one talks about a description of a venom from this guy named, Willhaven Braverick. With the exception of one house, the village was desiccated overnight by a single venom estimated to be a sage. The only adult amongst the 3 survivors described her as astonishingly ageless, hair as black as the day we married. But in the place of age lines I had expected were bulging scarlet veins branching outward from her red-ringed eyes. Dude just saw his wife. I'm scared. Okay. Bad omens, bad vibes. Bad omens, bad vibes. Bad omens, bad vibes. Also, it was really sad when Linux? I have to hold up. Let me flip back to the handy dandy little graph here. Links, whatever. One of the first years in their squad, who's I haven't cared about because I don't get attached to people. They're not going to die. Just manifested shadow wielding. I don't love that. I really don't. Okay, but I am happy that Sawyer got back on his seat and he can fly again. All right, chapter 48, let's go. Well, we just got what I'm going to call our second successful steamy chapter in this book, and it was well worth the wait because we finally got to see Violet and Xaden just go at it like they used to with just no fears. But that does scare me because shit's about to go down. A couple things tell me that. Number 1 is look at how many pages are left. Number 2, Xaden is convinced that it's 76 days? 76 days is what he needs to hold on to because that's 3 times as long as Jack Barlow went from his last big channeling. So if he can make it 3 times that Jack did, then he can control himself, is what he's told himself. And they're on day 73. I got a gut feeling all of this is going to happen within 3-day time frame, and Xaden's something's going to happen to him on day 76. Calling that right now. But it was a good spicy chapter. Very good spicy chapter. There was a point where Violet was on a chair and he grabbed her, and I thought, in the nicest way, I thought he was eating something else. You know what? I wasn't mad about it. I was like, girl, you get that. Xaden, you enjoy that. Okay, 50. Peace and blessings. Hi, me again. Tuning in very, very soon. Page 418. I'm just a handful of pages into chapter 50. Remember how I just said that Violet's dreams were fishy and the sage was holding the sword to her throat, and I was like, what if the sage is Xaden? And she's been having these same dreams since, wrestling with the same sage. I was wrong. I can admit to that. But one of my theories around this was that, well, Xaden's also seeing the sage, which is why I was like, oh, it's Nolan because they're both connected, so he's both sending them dreams. It's the same dream. It's the same dream. Violet is seeing Xaden's dreams. It's just confirmed here in chapter 50 because, and everything makes sense. Oh my, why didn't I see this? It's the same freaking dream. Because it kept saying she's. Where does it say she? Where does it say she? You are ours. You will bring me what I want or she dies. I'm through waiting. I will not allow her to win such a prize. You do not have her. But I will because you'll bring her to me. And it's and she sees Xaden's hand and she finally tells him about the dream. And it's when they realize these are all his dreams. And this changes context of all the dreams that we've seen Violet have in this book. Because the first one was sus because I was like, is Sage Vaden? No. The Sage is holding Vaden. What does that mean for the dream with Cat? What does that mean for the dream with Cat? When the house is on fire and it's you will be the future whatever of Tyrandor. Tyrandor? And they stop and they grab the picture of the family. That had to have been in the past, right? Oh. Hold up, they're talking about it. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I should have just continued reading. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Maybe it's the bond, but they're definitely my dreams. You've never been to Drethis or in that scenario. It's exactly what happened to me on the edge of the river when I fought him at Basgiath. He wants me to deliver you. How much do you know about the fall of Cliffsbane? He grips the edge of dresser. You dreamed about Cliffsbane when I was in Samara. In the dream, I was in my room, at least I think it was mine, and the fire was coming. I wouldn't leave without the portrait of my family and the family of the portrait. The honey brown eyes. The burn on my hand. And what? I told Kat she had to live because she's the future queen of Tyrandor. And the way Kat looked at me, it was like I was precious to her. What if I was Marin? Is she a freaking dream wielder? Hold up. This was not on my bingo card. If Violet's signet is a freaking dream wielder to go on people's dreams, but it makes Rebecca Bex. Because it was right there in Iron Flame in all of her nightmares and all of her dreams. But they weren't her dreams, they were Xaden's dreams. But we got both of the dreams and they were just so similar. It's been right there in front of me. Okay, I gotta keep going. You're gonna be here with Revelation. We're sticking in this. There is if you're a dreamwalker, he says thoughtfully, and my heart pounds. I guess there's what he's about to say. It must be your second signet, the one being bonded to Andarna gives you. It would make sense. Her kind are peaceful and the ability itself would be passive. Even a gift in culture like that. There's no such thing as dreamwalking, and that Irids told her that she gave me something more dangerous than lightning. It was one of the reasons they were so angry with her. It's a form of intrinsic. I don't read minds. That can't be right. I shake my head. You don't read them. You walk straight into them when unconscious. Oh my god, it was in front of us the entire time. Oh my god, Rebecca! I'm questioning everything right now. Oh my god. They were never her dreams. They were always, I'm guessing they were always Aiden's dreams. Okay. Whoa, now. It was right there. Gods, no wonder the boys look so familiar to me with the honey brown eyes. Well, okay. It was all there. Oh dear God, Rebecca. What are you doing to me? Can I count that I was right if I said that it was a form of intrinsic? It's not really compelling, but like, you can go in your dreams. Of course. And then, yep, that happens, and all of a sudden we're under attack. All right, I am stressing Basgiath. 423. I'll check in with y'all soon. Okay, hi. Checking in. Chapter 53. Goodness gracious. Okay. Remember when I said that shit was happening? Some of it happened. I just know that we're not out of the woods yet. So we know Violet's second signet, and then immediately Wyverns came, because why not in this world, you know? And things were happening, you know, the Wyverns attacks. What's interesting is that Auric ran to Violet and was like, you have to protect Dune's temple. It's where, like, you have to. I've got theories here on why Auric knew that and why he pushed that. Because as we know, his first signet hasn't manifested yet. And I'm wondering a couple things. One, is he intrinsic? And that's why he hasn't said anything. Thinking about all of the journeys we had in the Isles, and he was so effortlessly able to speak their languages and kind of like dive in, and he was like that big communicator. Granted, King's son, so like he had that upper leverage. But also, like, could he have just like read minds and like spoke languages? There's might be something there. But then I'm also thinking, what if he's like Melgren? What if his signet's like is like Melgren, and he can like see into battles? Because he said that they needed to be at Dune's temple, and they were at Dune's temple. We just saw another Shadow Wheeler manifest, because Xaden is like Vinin and the world needs to balance. What if like Melgren is Vinin and there needed to be another Foresight type for battle strategies? Because he's Vinin to balance. I'm cooking. But the Irids just showed up. Leothan, the dragon, just showed up and he fired on the ward. And now Orisha and all of Tyrandor has wards, and they're active and they're working. Okay, but also at the top of chapter 53, I don't like it. A journal of Captain Lilith Sorngale says, Asha returned today. Gods help us if anyone finds out. I'm not sure I'll ever forgive him for what he's done to her. Anyway, food for thought. Let's figure out what's happening. Let's dive in and continue, I guess. This wasn't on my bingo card. This wasn't on my bingo card. This wasn't on my bingo card. Oh my god. Oh my god. Page 444. Page 444. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. She broke the bond. I mean, this is too close. This is too close to Akamath. She broke the bond. She broke the bond. Oh no. Oh no. Darn it, broke the bond. I mean, I get it. That's what I would have done. I would have told her to go to her family and to, like, learn the ways and come back and be more beneficial. But, like, oh my, this makes Violet the first person to survive the loss of a dragon. Depressing thoughts. Anyway, I'm on chapter 54. Actually, I had an unhinged thought before I continued. And I know I'm leaning way into other fantasy theories, and I shouldn't be comparing other fantasy theories to this because it's different. But I can't help thinking about what one of the priestesses said to Violet as they were protecting the Dune Temple. And again, Arik was like, you have to go to the Dune Temple, you have to go there. And Dune is also like the aisle, the temple where everyone like looked like a Violet, but they all forced themselves to do that, like by dyeing their hair. But Violet's natural. And one of the priestesses said, like, oh, Dune sent you to us. And I can't help but think, like, is Violet actually a reincarnation of Dune? Like, is she a god? Is it unhinged? Not really. I can see Rebecca doing that. I'm being so real. Okay. I'll tune in later, guys. I'm scared. Okay. So I wasn't too far off. I don't really have any good news. I just have bad news that now Mira knows that Zayden's Venin. And the reason he knows is because Violet's dad, good old Asher, took Violet to Umbriel to dedicate her to Dune behind Mother's back. And the Dune priestesses did not want to do that because her future was not certain. I can find the exact quote. They only like to dedicate people whose futures are certain, and her future wasn't certain. She said that the heart that beat for you or within you would do the wrong thing for the right reason, reach for unspeakable power, and turn dark. Mira thought that meant that Violet was going to turn Venin, which I'm not counting that out. And then Xanon popped up and was like, nope, that's me. Mine's the heart that beats for her. By the way, I'm Venin. Okay, 455, chapter 55. Let's go. Where do I begin, dear God? Theopanine? Pronunciation's out the window. Mira, love that. So they're gonna go to her in Drathis, which is where all of Zayden's dreams are. So Zayden's dreams are gonna come true, and I just have a feeling that he's gonna die. I don't know. I'm scared. What's interesting though is that Violet still has the ability to dream walk, even though she's no longer bonded to Andarna. So I'm very curious on why that is. Because that was a question I had when Andarna left was, isn't that ability and that power going to go with you? But I guess not. It doesn't make any sense, but I guess we'll figure that out. And I don't know why Theopanine wants Bodhi and Violet. I mean, Bodhi is second in line to the crown, or the crown, the Duke, whatever. I keep seeing that theory online that Bodhi's not with Violet, so I've been like trying to keep track throughout the book of like, is he trying to look for signs? And like, I haven't seen any like major red flags of like, he's in love, but there's been like moments, unless it's like just that subtle. Okay, we're chapter 57, page 466 out of like 540. We're getting there, guys. Remember when I said that I thought that Mira might be the traitor? I was wrong. Page 475. I don't think Mira's gonna survive that one. Not a cut to the throat. This feels all too familiar. Oh god. And now Brennan's running over and he's trying to save her. This feels too much like he tried to save no one. Oh my god. I need to stop looking at it. Oh my god. What does Ark know? What does Ark know? Also, pause. I feel like something's going on between Dane and Sloane. There's been too many casual encounters to like write it down as nothing. Or at least he's very protective of her. Because Dane literally chased her from I guess where they were in formation, because Sloane's like, I have to be here to deliver something, and like Dane's there. And Dane's like, channel me, my powers aren't needed today. She stares at the gray handprint that scars his forearm. Someone like you shouldn't have this much power. Dang, Dane's finally got a lot of power. Okay, she's alive. She's alive. We use Sloane. Guys. Okay, I'm scared. Okay, I'll check in with you guys in a second. It might be like in the next chapter. Page 481. This next chapter, chapter 61, we're changing POVs. I repeat. Rhiannon, we're changing POVs. I think I've seen this film before, and I did not like the ending. It was freaking Divergent too. Oh my, no, we're on book 3. Oh, I'm so scared. Also, Thephany, whatever the freak her name is actually a storm wielder. And Violet's mom was the one to counter her signet. Violet's mom was the balance to this chick. So I guess there goes my theory of Violet's mom being Venom. That's out the door. That's out the window. But that's okay. You live and you learn. Well, we just left Violet's point of view with Blade in Violet's throat. And now we're switching to Rhiannon's point of view. Page 490. We're in this, guys. Final stretch. I'm scared. I didn't really even care about Quinn. She was just a side character that was there. Then Rebecca had to go and write Imogene's point of view. What a bitch. Oh, I love that she's doing it, and I hate that she's doing it, because we're getting a really cool perspective of other people's relationships with their dragons, which is really dope. I love to see how Imogen and Gain, I think it's Gain, are so similar, and how Rhee's dragon and their dependent relationship. Also, we finally saw Imogen's second signet, and it like turns metal into stone, because she was using the metal shields, and then fire came and it turned to stone. I don't know. The chapter 65 was really rough, guys. Had a lot of highs and had a lot of lows. And now I'm on page 511. I'm sorry, I'm on page 512. There's not a lot left. I'm very scared. Okay. Chapter 64. Oh, gosh. May doom be with us. Oh my god, where do I begin? So remember when I was like, what if Auric is like Melgren and he has like a signet where you can like see the future? Nailed it. She said like a precog, which was a funny name for precognition. And yeah, I fully believe that. And he was there because he gave her the note, and we learned what Onyx Storm was, and I guess it's Aiden giving into Venom power because like the darkness came. I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. And Darna's back, which is weird because she just left. Literally just left. But she's here, and Violet's using the stone from the temple dagger to unalive homegirl. I released the bolt, plunging us into darkness and surrendering to the fire, burning me alive. Violet, and Darna whispers, and then I hear nothing, and now we're going into Zayden's point of view, and I'm not okay. Good things did not happen the last time we entered Zayden's point of view. This is page 520. I'm not looking at the text. I'm just gonna look at the page numbers. It's acknowledgements. 527. I think I just gotta keep this on for reading this last chapter, guys. Stay with me. I'm really scared this is going to end up like Divergent. I'm really scared. And so I guess we learned that he is the Onyx. And Zane didn't even kill him at Basgiath. They just threw him down a cliff. Your brother? Somebody else? Is it somebody else? Is it somebody else? Oh no. Oh no, it's another person who's Venom. Zayden. Zayden! You idiot. Oh my god, she's gonna have to kill him. Zayden went all venom to the point of like, she's gonna have to kill him. While cadets are strongly encouraged not to form romantic attachments while studying in the quadrant, lieutenants are permitted to marry whomever they choose upon graduation. Dear God, okay, we are back to Violet's POV, chapter 66. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. Oh my god. What's the book? You know, I feel like I should have seen that coming because there was so much talk about marriage and consorts and futures in this book. He liked it, so he went and put a ring on it. That is for sure. Honestly, a better ending than I thought we were gonna get. I'm here for a wedding. I'm here for a wedding. I'm here for Imogen coming forward and using her signet, because that's when Violet woke up 12 hours later with a ring on her finger, a note that says, "Don't look for me, it's yours now." Zayden's gone, and Violet saying, "What you do?" and Imogen's like, "What you told me to do." I'm sorry, I'm processing. Overall immediate thoughts. Wow, we're so gathered here, everyone. Significantly better than Iron Flame. Significantly better than Iron Flame. Where do I think it's going to go next? Well, I don't think that Violet's going to take no for an answer. We know her. I think the next book is going to definitely, we'll see her struggle with continued leadership, but now instead of a squad on a mission, it's going to be of a people at a place, at a palace, and, you know, a dignitary. I wonder how much of a part Bodhi's going to play, since Bodhi's kind of been trained for that life. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get my wish of getting another love interest. I think Zayden's stuck with her for a while. I still think one of this is going to go one or two ways. I don't know if they're going to find a cure. I don't know if they're going to live happily ever after. It does not seem like it from the start of this book. I still think that a divergent might happen, where one, if not both, of the main characters are going to die in this book. I am happy that we got an entire book of groveling Zayden, because I needed that to heal my soul after Iron Flame. Yeah, I have a lot to process. Let me know in the comments your immediate thoughts after you finish this book. Thank you for making it to the end of this video and going on this journey literally from start to finish with me. On that note, yeah, like, comment, subscribe for more bookish content all around. Did you like this kind of content where we literally read and went through the book together? I might do more of it. It just feels like we're having a conversation, we're going through it together. So that's the goal. Yeah, that's it. That's it from me. I need to go to bed. I need to process everything I just read and maybe cry a little bit more. I'll see y'all around. And happy reading. And maybe you'll cry again thinking about this book.